So I just got out of court a little while ago, and I wanted to play this recording for you. Essentially, it's over masks, not the court case. I went to jail about a month ago for allegedly violating a temporary order of protection that was signed by a judge that's disqualified. It's not even valid. But the court today, this little clip is about masks. And I know what a lot of y'all are thinking. Just put a mask on. It's not a hill to die on. Whether you agree with masks, whether you agree with vaccines or whatever, it's up to you. It's not up to the government to decide for you. Now look, there's a lot of my brothers that fought hard to keep our liberties. And I'm going to continue to fight here stateside for our liberties. Johnson City, Tennessee, Judge Tom Arnold in the Washington County Courthouse. So just, you stand up for your rights, they're going to punk you. They're going to lean on you. See if I can get this to play.
I would note that he has not been placed under oath.
That's an assistant district attorney.
He is not subject to perjury.
Raise your right hand, sir.
I'm not compelled to provide evidence against myself.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking you to be sworn. I want to put you under oath. Raise your right hand.
I'm not going to be put under oath.
Get out of here, then.
Get out of here.
I want to find his case over to the grand jury.
Grand
I don't
jury.
want to sit up here and play games with you. I don't know what you think you're doing.
I was led to believe that somebody's making a claim against me.
I'm not governed by what people are led to believe. I'm governed by what the law is.
And the law is that I have to wear a mask?
No, there's no law that says you got to wear a mask. But we've had a mandate in this county by the mayor that everyone that comes in the courthouse has to wear a mask.
So it's not law.
Well, it is law.
Oh,
It is the law.
As far as I'm concerned.
As far as I'm
It's
concerned.
mandated by the mayor. He has been given that authority by the governor.
Mayor Grandy,
To mandate whether people wear masks in his court or not.
Governor Bill
I didn't know the
Lee.
mayor could make law.
Well, he can.
Oh.
He's given that authority, but I don't sit up here and argue with me.
I'm not
I've
arguing.
heard enough out of you.
That's enough.
I'm going to continue your case to the 22nd. You come back at that time. Are you refusing to go under oath?
Yes, I am.
Well, I'm just going to bind his case to the grand jury. I'm not going to let him
Grand jury.
stand up here and refuse to go under oath.
Well, I'm here honorably. I was here to let believe somebody has a claim against me, and I'm here to settle that matter.
Nobody's got a claim against you. Somebody's charging that you violated an order of protection.
That's a claim.
Violation of an order of protection. That's
Well,
criminal offense.
if that claimant's here, I'm willing to settle the matter here honorably. I don't understand why you think I'm being combative.
Because everything that you're combating everything I tell you to do. I'm asking you, sir, to raise your right hand. I want you under oath that a doctor
Want you
told
under
you
oath.
that you can't wear a mask.
I'm not going to swear myself in under oath. I came in for a matter that I was led to believe that somebody has a claim against me, and I'm here honorably to settle that matter.
This case is not going to be reset. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bind the case over to the grand jury.
Grand jury.
On my own. It's either that or find him in contempt.
Mm.
I'd rather not find him in contempt, but I will if I have to. But if he's
I have
not
to.
here when he's supposed to be back in front of the grand jury, he will
All
be
powerful.
The case is bound to the grand jury because of his failure to cooperate, his
Cooperate.
failure to be sworn. He's claiming that the doctors told him that he can't wear a mask because he can't breathe.
Don't have
What
to.
I'm asking you, you be quiet a minute. All I'm asking you to do is be sworn and swear to me the doctor told you that you can't wear a mask. You can't breathe when you wear a mask, and he's told you not to wear one. That's the only thing I'm asking you to put you under oath.
I don't have to.
You understand me?
I comprehend what you're saying. I thought I was here on a matter somebody was making a
You're
claim.
not. You're here to answer this charge, and you're going to follow the procedures.
I've been charged for not wearing a mask.
Yes, you're going to be in
Oh.
contempt of court if you keep it up. And if I put you in contempt of court, you're going straight to jail.
Straight to
I don't
jail.
understand what I've done here, sir. I'm here honorably to settle a
You
matter.
can't understand what we've been talking about for the last 30 minutes. You either do one of two things. If you'll file an oath, you can waive to the grand jury, or I'm going to send your case over to the grand jury.
For a
Well, I
misdemeanor.
spoke with Madam Assistant District Attorney here, and I thought there was, I was supposed to come back in a week or something like that was from what I was understanding.
It says here that the defendant does not wait 30 days. He wants a hearing. And I assume that's today that he wanted a hearing.
That's correct,
Well, I'm
Judge.
not gonna give him a hearing today because
Nope.
of the reasons I stated before. Now, you be back here, I'm gonna do this, to try to give you the benefit of the doubt. It's up to you. You come back on a week from today, you either be wearing a mask or you have a certificate from a doctor that says that you can't breathe and you're not capable of wearing a mask and it's unhealthy for you to wear a mask. Or you go directly to the grand jury in your case.
A week from today or on the 22nd, Mr. Thomas?
22nd, and we can leave it 22nd.
That's a week from Thursday.
Now, he starts in on this other guy, bless his heart.
Thank you, Deputy.
This guy in the gallery, you can tell he's got health issues. Why don't you have a mask?
I've got COPD, low oxygen in my blood. I'm liable to pass out.
I understand, and that's fine.
Now, again, whether you believe in this or not, we don't have to explain ourselves to these all-powerful judges. Now, we know what happens when you go against judges. Trust me, of all people I know, I've been in jail for it. How far are you willing to go? I don't know. I don't know how much I got left in me. I don't know how far I'm willing to go. But anyways, tell me what you think. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Ultimately, my goal is custody of my children, which is what all this stems from. More false allegations. And until the court prosecutes false allegations and perjury, it's actually advocated for vexatious litigation because it brings more revenue into the court system. And how dare you stand up for yourself, or I'll hold you in contempt, send you straight to jail, or send you over to the grand jury for a misdemeanor. So, let me know what you think. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I got to go back in a week. So, we'll see what happens. All y'all patriots out there still fighting. Keep up the good work, and God bless y'all.
Greetings and welcome back. I meant to make this video last week, but it's kind of difficult right now for me. Anyways, I'm back in my studio right now, so I figured I'd just go ahead and make it here. Let's talk about jurisdiction. Juris quite literally means of law or of right. Diction means to write down. Like, take a dictation. Write something down. So, juris means of law and of right, and then diction means written down. You see, there was a comment made on my last video talking about how the judge wasn't doing wrong because he had jurisdiction the whole time. I kind of asked, well, how do you figure? And with the comments I got back, I pretty quickly realized that they were just following whatever Carl Lentz said. Because Carl Lentz is right about everything. Because he's some type of common law guru. Ha 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 ha. No. You see, because saying that that man in the last video lost jurisdiction because he wasn't in control of the situation the entire time is kind of like saying that that a rape victim can never get jurisdiction over a rapist because the rapist was in control of the situation the entire time they were doing the raping. What kind of sense does that make? And it's not just my opinion that the judicial officer didn't have jurisdiction. When he wrote out the order, he made it a minute order, which means it never hits the record of the court, not of the actual case. It's just the minutes of the court. You see, that's how uncomfortable he was with the jurisdiction he did not have, is that he wouldn't actually write out a true and lawful order. Another way I know that they didn't have jurisdiction is because they said 20 days. 20 days minimum. And then they would revisit it and see how many more days they were going to add on. That man was out of jail in about 72 hours. Yeah. Yeah, if they would have felt really confident in their jurisdiction, then that wouldn't have happened. Now, why is this? See, I told you that juris meant of law and of right. Okay, so one thing that Matthew Gonzalez got right, he says, in law there's right and wrong. And that's right. That's all there is in law. And if you are not in the right, then you don't have juris. You don't have of right and of law. The only thing that judicial officer had was diction while he was impersonating a judicial officer of the state of Tennessee. Because it's really just like this. If you don't have rights unless you exercise them a very particular way, then you don't have rights. You either have rights or you don't. That's pretty much how simple it is. You either have rights or you don't. And if you go into a court and say, what did I do wrong? And they can't tell you, and then they tell you you're only hurting yourself, well, that's not jurisdiction. Because the way jurisdiction happens is when you cause me some type of harm, injury, or loss, I'm the one who has jurisdiction, not the court. The court doesn't have any jurisdiction. You didn't do anything to the court. I'm the one who has jurisdiction because I'm the one who has the right to juris to get diction against you. Jurisdiction. I'm the one who suffered some type of tragedy, some type of grievance, some type of harm, injury, or loss, and then went down and wrote it down, giving me that jurisdiction, and then I went and filed it with the court. And if you follow my show, you're gonna hear me talk about numerous times how in any lawsuit, basically the first 3 points to any lawsuit are, I'm a citizen and a subject of your laws, I believe them to be a citizen and a subject of your laws, and I'm giving you jurisdiction. I'm giving the court jurisdiction because of some legislative act. And that just makes everything administrative. Because it was legislated. And whoever the plaintiff is, whoever has the claim, they're handing over jurisdiction to the court to try and get some remedy. It's the only way jurisdiction is ever obtained. That's why there's a whole lot of case law that says jurisdiction can't be presumed or assumed. It has to be proven on the record by facts. You have to factually show that you have jurisdiction over somebody because they violated the law. It's really that simple. And if you can't factually show that, and not that they violated some statute or some statutory instrument or some instrument of administration, but they actually violated law. You see, because diction means writing down words. And if you go and you read the Bible really closely, one of the first things it's going to say is, in the beginning was the Word. You see, and might as well say, in the beginning was the law. Because that word they're talking about is the word of the Creator who created all law. Okay, that's why the Muslims call Allah, right? All law. Allah. Anyways, I just had to get that off my chest, but thank you, Matthew, for the comments, because, you know, some people, they get misguided by people like Carl Lentz and Anna von Ritz and all these other people. And people are only going to know what they know. And me, being the creator of this platform thing, I don't know what people don't know. So I love it when people ask questions or challenge or whatever, so that I can teach people how it actually works. Because that's kind of my entire purpose of doing this. Is to teach people how it works and to, get everybody understanding what the game is, so that they can understand how to play it, and they can understand if they wish to consent to it, and they can understand that understanding means comprehension of an agreement. Anyways, I'd also like to point out for those of the people who are not following the Telegram channel that, the last Telegram post that I made was me getting a Venmo account set up, and a lot of people were like, you should go and set up a Patreon account. And, I've heard that before, and I've looked into Patreon, and I'm glad that y'all are thinking about me. I'm glad that you're coming up with some ideas and this and that, and you wish to see this conspiracy we have keep moving forward because it's important to you just like it's important to me. But here's the thing, is that back in 2018, Patreon started taking down conservative accounts. And Sam Harris, who is a self-proclaimed atheist, left Patreon for that. He left it on a moral basis. On a moral basis that what they were doing was wrong by taking down other people's accounts. And the only reason I bring this up is because I hope you can understand that if somebody who believes and their God is having no God, if they can be so moral and understanding as to take down their own account on their own accord for ethical reasons, I really hope everybody understands why I can't go set up an account like that for ethical reasons. And this conspiracy that we're producing, this conspiracy that we're creating right here, let me put something very, very clearly to everybody watching, okay? And I wish to give a shout out to Wasabi Ninja. He's still the only individual who really wishes to be announced. And all of the other people who have donated since the video about there might not be any more videos. But the enemy, the people who are perpetrating the crimes of society today, they are not going to finance their own demise. They're not going to participate in this conspiracy. They're just not going to do it. And in fact, not only are they not going to do it, but they're going to try their best and use every single little dirty trick they have to make sure that this conspiracy doesn't go anywhere. So the only way that this conspiracy is going to go anywhere is if you finance it, is if you have faith in it, is if you believe in it so much that you would tithe to it like a church. Because in the comment sections, people have been talking about that, tithing to it like a church. Great idea. That's the whole reason there are tithes, is so that the church can take the money and do good deeds with it and help those people in need. And help those people in need. And you know what I've done with some of the finances that people have donated? I've helped somebody in need. Oracle has wished for her foundation to the house that she's living in to be painted for at least 2 years now. So I took some of the money that people donated and I purchased some of the supplies and I helped her paint the foundation. Scrub it all down, you gotta sand it first. And then the last time my little man and I were up there, we took apart the door leading to the crawl space, painted those. That's what your tithing's supposed to go to. That's what a church does. That's what a church who has faith in the Creator does. They don't go join a government and get a 501c3 and become under the jurisdiction of the government. They're under the jurisdiction of the Creator. And they know that. And they know that they have to do the Creator's work here on earth. They know that they have to uphold the Creator's law here on earth if they wish to see any type of creation in their own afterlife. And it's really just that simple. It really is. So I guess the moral of the story is that unless you take it upon yourself to finance this conspiracy, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like, let's just break down the conspiracy theory that obviously has no merit to it about Bill Gates. Okay? Let's just break down that one. Who do you think financed it? Who do you think financed it? Or let's break down a conspiracy about Nazi Germany. Where did they get their financing from? Well, amazingly enough, Hitler's mom was a maid to the Rothschild family. That could explain a couple of things. That could explain something like how Adolf Hitler only spent 6 months in jail for leading an armed revolt against the government, when throughout all of history, almost anybody who did that would hang. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So, the only way a conspiracy like this really gets started, and the only way that it's perpetuated and moves forward, is by financing. And the people who are going to finance it are the ones who have faith in the conspiracy, are the ones who have faith in the object of that conspiracy. And a lot of people, especially here in America, a third of their paycheck, a third of their earnings goes to the government. And this isn't a conspiracy theory anymore. 9/11. No matter which conspiracy theory you believe about 9/11, whether you believe the government's propaganda or any number of other conspiracy theories about 9/11, when Obama left office, he released the 28 pages that were classified from the 9/11 Commission report. And if you go and read those 28 pages, then it's not a conspiracy theory, it's a conspiracy fact that people within the government conspired to keep the truth away from the American people so that they could go bomb Afghan and Iraqi children. And the people of this country financed it through their faith in the United States government. And we don't have to have that much financing for this conspiracy. I'll tell you why. Because the government purposely tries to waste money to ruin the American way of life. And you can't get any better, clearer examples of that than this past year with COVID and how many trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars they created, and how many trillions of dollars. Now, every time a bill goes through, it's $1.7 trillion, it's $3 trillion, it's trillions of dollars. It's no longer in the billions. And I was listening to NPR just yesterday, and they were talking about how wasteful this new recovery stimulus package is going to be, because that's what they're doing. They're just wasting money. Because the more money they waste, the quicker they're going to ruin the American way of life, the American economy, and the American dream. And they've done a really, really good job at it so far. Really, really good job at it. So, if you don't have faith in this, if the Creator doesn't put it on your heart to tithe to people who are actually going to do something about it and know how to, study enough history to know what works and what doesn't, then I guess it's not going to work. It's not going to get off the ground. But if you think that Patreon is going to help somebody like me create a bank of money, I believe they would shut me down pretty quick. I'm actually kind of surprised that my YouTube channel is still up. I almost bet that if I monetize my YouTube channel, it'd be taken down pretty quick. Because the enemy is not going to finance their own destruction. They're going to finance your destruction. That's their goal. That's what they're doing. And what's even more humorous about it is that in a lot of ways, the enemy gets you to finance your own destruction. And they get you to do it in more ways than just financially. They get you to do it by believing that a judicial officer can break the law and that he's in law and in right just because he had control of a situation. They do it by getting you to believe that family members should be harmed by fictional entities called corporations and banks. They do it by getting you to believe that they are leaders and not rulers. That's how the real world works. That's what I wish to conspire against. Because without changing that, we're not going to make a better world for our little people in training. They're going to create a worse one. Anyways, we are just conspiracy, and we just wish to conspire with other good people of this planet to leave a better world for future generations than the world we all grew up in. One world, love, and peace. This is one of my favorite things to ask people who come over to the dark side from Anna Von Rice was, doesn't this make more sense? Like, does this make sense to you? Do you understand why it works this way? Yeah, do you understand, like, did you understand how Anna Von Rice's way worked? Or were you taking it basically based on faith because, you know, a million other people follow her? Oh, based on faith because a million other people follow her. Because I thought somebody somewhere had pulled this off before.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got, well, kind of kicked out of the assembly that I was in because I was questioning a lot. And I just, you know, when I said I don't understand this, I was trying to get out of paying my taxes from a job, and I, you know, was filing all these different papers, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Again, like you know, JC was saying, I was just doing it because they said file a W-4 exempt, file W-8 Ben, file attestation. So I have all these papers, and you know, my company comes back to me like, we don't acknowledge, we don't know what you're doing. Like, what, we don't know what this is. This holds no bearing. We're taking taxes out. And so that was like the final straw for me. I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm going to get myself like landed in jail because I'm just filing all these crazy papers, not understanding why and what it means for me. So
Let me ask you this: these people that were telling you to file all these different tax forms, did they tell you why? Did they explain why you file these forms, or did they just say go do this?
they explained, you know, they explained about being a U.S. citizen. You have to know who you are. You're not in their jurisdiction. You're not a federal employee, so it doesn't apply to you. But you know, after asking questions, saying, well, they're not replying to that. You know, they're not saying, okay, you're exempt. They keep pushing back, and they didn't have any. They're like, oh, I don't, you know, it's just, it sucks that they're so corrupt. They're, you know, what they're doing is illegal. Like, that's what they would say. And I'm like, it's not, this isn't working. This isn't. And then, you know, after talking to JC for like 5 minutes, he told me why it didn't work. And that was it. You know, it was just it's very simple. It's pretty sad because I think there's a lot of people who really want to be free. And that movement is very dangerous.
It's a counterintelligence program to trap people into slavery knowingly, you know, to get them to accept their own slavery. And here's the way that I'd like to prove that it's a faith-based system. Janine, did anybody show you any proof that it had worked? Like any certified proof that, hey, I did this and now they're not taking taxes out?
Well, that one woman, she said she was able to get her federal taxes taken out. She works at a hospital, but not her state. And I mean, I didn't see her paycheck, so I don't know. But for the most part, I would say 9 out of 10 people couldn't get anything to work. They would have their houses foreclosed on. They would land in jail. They would owe money.
And And the thing is that I'm sure that, you know, the lady that you talked to probably did get the federal government to stop taking income taxes from her check for a period of time. And then at some point, the federal government's going to come back. They're going to issue an order to have her show cause as to why she hasn't been paying the taxes. And then they basically give her an option like, are you going to pay taxes or you want to go to court?
Yep. You know, your video showed how you got out of it. And, you know, what Anna's teaching is people are getting tickets. So I think it's pretty clear cut. It doesn't work.
Yeah, but that's where the faith-based system comes in place, is that, you know, it's a faith-based system. They don't show you any proof. They just talk about these ideas that people are obviously already looking for anyways. They're selling them a faith to believe in, and they're asking for money. And I think that that just shows how much of a faith-based system it is. And the thing that really kind of perplexes me is that how many people there are in kind of the sovereign, quote unquote, sovereign citizen movement who are willing to go into a court and do these crazy scripts that Anna von Rice and Rye Class and these other gurus come up with, like John Paul Hansen. And then you start talking to them about the real law and what the real law is. It makes a whole lot of sense to them. And then when they go into court, they, you know, freeze up, they get real nervous. It's hard for them to perform, you know, because you got to have faith in it. Like, you have to believe in it. You have to have confidence in it. And I don't know what it is about the truth that makes it more difficult for people to have confidence in it than all of these lies that people go into court and have actual confidence in what Anna von Rice says. I just don't get it.